They do a really good job with both, but yeah, these game plans, offensive game plans, you kind of never know how it's going to go. You can always predict it or think you know what it's going to be, but you can't make up your mind too early and overcommit to something and then get burned someplace else. So they do a really good job throwing the ball, running the ball, RPO plays. So great challenge for us.
Does the backup quarterback they have to install this week, does that change that at all? I know he's a little bit more mobile than the starter was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're approaching the week. Looking forward to finding out.
Brennan, Jed had kind of insinuated the other day that Jonah's been a little banged up the last couple weeks. Can you kind of give us just an idea?
Yeah, I think just when you're getting all the carries, I think there's some bumps and bruises and stuff like that. We'll protect them a little bit. Dare I say vet day, but we'll take care of him. Make sure he's not overloading them in the beginning of the week, so we can get him fresh for the weekend.
I mean, have you been getting the ball to him as much as you'd like? I mean, what's the?
Yeah, I think we'll feature Jonah a lot. So whatever the numbers turn out, I know a couple of games he wasn't able to finish the way he wanted it to, so maybe those numbers are a little bit low. But yeah, we're gonna give him the ball a lot.
Is it fair to expect Max could return at some point this season?
Yes, it is fair to suspect that. I don't have it. We won't know anything until at least after this weekend. So he's not going to be out there this weekend. Spoiler alert. This movie scene.
How kind of unfortunate was that for Max? It seemed like he had been coming along, and then kind of the weird injury of it sounds like a sprained thumb or dislocated thumb, which doesn't sound bad, but has to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I would say try it before you judge on that one. Yeah, that's a bad deal. Yeah, very, very frustrated. He wanted to go back out there, and our medical staff decided, and rightfully so, that he shouldn't go do that, and still stand by that one. But yeah, he's eager to play. He's pissed off that he can't go do it, but he knows that he can take this time to get recovered in other areas, so he'll do a great job with that, and hopefully we can get him back for the end of the season.
All good, guys? All right.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're ready, everybody.
Boy, have you tried to implore Brennan to get you involved in some more plays? Because PFF now has the highest rated pass blocking player on Needham's offense.
I mean, every week it's increased by a little bit, so hopefully I get a little bit more this week. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Giles, you've been into Bloomington before, Michigan?
Yeah, my freshman year, I want to say. I had a kick return, and I was down. I tried to get away, and I forgot they had instant replay. But, yeah, they got me, though.
Probably be a little different this weekend than it was back then.
Yeah, it should be a fun environment, though, for sure. Crowd was rowdy, so looking forward to that. But, yeah, good opportunity.
Max must have played that day or been on the team.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. I think we lost pretty bad, honestly. But
Voi, you have to play a lot of different positions along the defensive line.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of other positions, they'll say sometimes learning a different spot will mess with the one that they were really good at. Has that been an issue for you at all?
No, not at all. I think our coaching staff, especially Coach Switz and BC, do a good job at giving me my job on offense, and Coach Kalfusi does the same thing on defense, so I don't ever get it mixed up at all.
Voi, this is one of the best offenses in the Big Ten. How do you feel that you can attack this Indiana offensive line going forward? Because they can throw the ball all over the place.
Oh man, I think I can block, so I guess that's the biggest key factor that I've been used for. So I think I just gotta hone in on my blocking skills actually.
Every one of your coaching staffs has found a use for you, but it seems like everybody's had a different idea on how to use you. Like, I think Lake was determined to make you a defensive tackle, and DeBoer moved you to edge rusher almost exclusively, and now you play kind of everywhere on both sides of the ball and up and I think inside a little bit. Is this the best fit for you so far, this coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for, as you said, it's different for each coaching staff, but I feel like wherever I can get on the field, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I just love playing this game, so I just kind of keep it plain and simple.
Giles, how's the season better for you? Because, you have the great statistical start to the season. Jed says he doesn't end up going to the play call that could have won the Apple Cup. You didn't play at the end of last season. Just kind of how do you characterize how the season's gone for you and your decision to come back and all that?
Well, I mean, I feel like this whole year has been a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, redshirted last year. I feel like that was a lot, came back just to hone on my football skills, maturity, just try to be a better person. And I feel like it's helped, definitely, for sure.
Giles, with the benefit of the bye week, did you guys discover anything looking at the red zone offense, something that maybe you guys could execute better, or has it just sort of been bad luck so far?
Like you said, we got to execute better, honestly. That's really what it's coming down to, execution. So if we execute, it should be a totally different team.
Voi, what was the focus for the defense during the bye week?
Get our bodies right, make sure our mental's straight, come back, attack.
Who are some young guys that got to show up? Because I know Jed said that some young guys got to play or practice early on in the bye week. Maybe who are some young guys that have been standing out as the season's going on to you guys on both ends?
I think there's a clear one, obviously, on defense is Kamori House. I mean, he's got a lot of snaps, and I've seen him out on the field with me a lot, so I think he's done a good job, too. I mean, I ain't seen nothing on film that, he's been doing his job, so.
You want me to? Keith Reynolds, definitely. Rasheed Williams, like you said, Kamori. One guy I've noticed the last couple weeks, Rayshawn Clark. I think he's going to be really, really good in the future, offense or defense, honestly. I think he has that in his bag for sure. Yeah.
What is it about Rayshawn that just kind of stands out to you?
I feel like he's just versatile, honestly. I want to say either yesterday or the day before he was playing scout team receiver, was actually doing good. Then next drive he was on scout defense, so he could do it all. He's just very versatile.
Giles, how have you improved as a receiver? I mean, when you came here, you hadn't had a lot of reps as a receiver. You were more of a running back in high school and things like that. So just talk about your progress as a wide receiver and what you learned from Coach Russell, Coach last year, and Coach Cummings this year.
Coach Cummings, my guy. He was probably, I want to say that was probably my first offer in high school was San Jose State. That's where he was at. Then Shep, that's my guy too, obviously. I feel like Shep brought the dog out, in me, and then, really honed on my skills. Then Coach Casey's, touching them up, telling me what I got to do to get right. And just, obviously, I came in, didn't have a lot of receiver tape. It was more just give me the ball, let me run, and just focusing on little details, watching old film. And even, my Michigan receiver coach, when I was there, just remembering, just focus on the details. Details could take you so far rather than just, using the speed. Details always going to win. So, yeah.
All right, we're good with these two guys? All right. Thank you very much. We got Daniyel Ngata here.
Away for Daniyel and Brennan.
Landen, how's the season been for you? Obviously, you kind of defined some people's belief by being able to be healthy by the start of the season. You've gotten a decent amount of reps at left guard, center. Just how do you feel the season's gone for you?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, I through camp and later in the summer, I really put my focus to trying to get on the field week 1, and I was happy to be able to do that. I was on a rep count for the first part of the season, so limited drives and snaps that I could be in for, but I was happy to get back out there, and then obviously from there, I'm just trying to grow each week. Coming off an injury, you kind of have to get your feet back underneath you, and I feel like I've done a decent job and been feeling more confident each week with it, and I'm excited to keep going.
Is it a badge of honor almost with some of the guys you played with, like your brother and Rosengard and Fautano? I think you started earlier in your career than those guys did.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I really look at. I just try to provide what I can for the team each week, and do the best of the opportunities I get, and go out there and just provide what I can provide. But yeah, it is cool to get out there and play earlier, but not something I think about really.
Daniyel, where do you guys feel that you improved the most on special teams over the bye week?
Probably the attention to detail and just the effort you put in. I think we just a little lack of that the last couple weeks. And, just the most I can do by, getting a spot on there is just helping the person right beside me and, telling the person right beside me, help the person right beside them as well. Just do your job and trusting the person right beside you as well. And that's the most you can do, really. And I think it's been working out a little bit, so just trusting each other and going to Indiana, doing that same thing.
Daniyel, obviously, Grady's under some pressure right now. Jed mentioned that it's not always on the kicker. It's just that the kicker's the one who kind of is the most obvious person when something goes wrong. For you guys, how do you kind of pick him up and maybe step up to take some of that pressure off of Grady?
Grady's at my locker room block, so it's kind of like easier for me to say because, I just like, just give him a little pat on the back, just give him a little talk. It's football. Bad stuff gonna happen. You just gotta, it's about what, you're gonna do next. So, and then Grady at practice, we try to pick him up. We try to, throw what the fans said to him at practice. We're not easy at him at practice, because football, getting to them games or the fan environment, it's not easy. So, we try to give him the best look at practice, and he does his best at practice, and we appreciate him for that.
Was there any worry on Sunday when he was asked to kick the 48-yard field goal or you had to run gassers?
Oh, never. I wasn't, even when he misses field goals, I never worried about that. I thought he was going to make them, but that's what happens. But even when he made that 48, I'm never worried about him at all.
What's your role kind of like with Keith? How much have you mentored him in terms of, he's been the main kickoff return guy, you were the main kickoff return guy last season, it seems. How much have you helped him in that regard?
Man, just to trust himself and to take off, and he's doing a great job at that. And I think he's just, as much as you keep doing this, a repetition thing. So he's gonna keep getting better and better at every week. So,
Landen, one of the young guys we've heard a lot about, just that this coaching staff seems really high on, is Pocky Fee now. Where have you seen him grow, just kind of throughout spring camp and fall ball?
Yeah, obviously, in spring coming in early as a freshman, he was really light. Which, is expected as a freshman. He's done a really good job of getting his body right, which is, a big part. He naturally has all the technique and, everything that comes out. Some stuff is uncoachable, and he came in naturally really gifted, but he's continued to grow and refine his technique, and, I see him get better each week, so I'm excited to see how he keeps developing, but he's done a really good job so far.
What have you learned from D'Angelo? He's got a lot of experience playing, comes in, he's taken a lot of snaps at center. How do you guys work together, and what have you learned from him?
Yeah, we've worked together from, the first day he got on campus, and even before he was committed here, I talked to him a little bit, and, D'Lo's had, I think 4 years now starting under his belt, and this is his fifth. And at any level, that's impressive. And, so just trying to take little things from the game that he sees that maybe I didn't, or something I saw that maybe he didn't, that we could talk about and work on. And then, he's just a mauler. That dude's got the attitude. And, you saw a little bit in that Michigan game. It came out a bit. And, he gets after it. So it's awesome to be in the same room and compete with him and against him. And, I think me and him work really well together and make each other better.
Landen, you drew, I think, more than 70 snaps at Iowa. How did you handle the workload, whether you were been injured or not? And was there anything memorable on the field? You know, I know the game didn't turn out well, but, you know, was there any interchange between the lines or any moments out there that were unusual?
No, I mean, the workload is what it was. You know, we have good heavy practices each week and through camp, and I think the coaching staff has done a good job of getting our bodies right. And you know, the workload really wasn't concerned, and even coming off the injury, I wasn't thinking about it, and I felt good. But no, obviously their defensive front, they are big and physical. They didn't do a lot of talking or anything, so nothing out of the ordinary happened. But it was just a physical game, and you know, just some stuff we got to clean up and keep going.
Do you feel there's one position? I know D'Angelo's obviously a senior, so it's kind of hard to supplant him. But is there one position you see him drawn to, left guard, center? Do you feel like there's maybe a strength of your game that comes out in one or the other?
I would say I'm probably most comfortable playing center, just because I played all 4 years of high school at center and taking a lot of snaps here at center. But any of the three interior positions, I'm happy to play, and you know, I have this year. So.
What's been the biggest adjustment, kind of playing guard as opposed to playing center? Like, what's the biggest difference there?
You know, a lot of it's just most of the technique's the same, but just coming out of a different stance is really it. At center, there's a little bit more to think about, just making all the calls and everything. And guard, you're kind of allowed to just think more about, not like selfishly, but think more about yourself and your assignment specifically. But physical-wise, a lot of it's the same. A lot is just coming out of a different stance.
And you came in with Fasolo and Safai. I guess they're going to be in line for left snaps at left tackle. What do you think people should know about them, or what do you know about them, both on and off the field?
Yeah, obviously they're in their second year, younger guys, but they're both competitors. You know, Sawane early on this season has got a lot of snaps. And, you know, I think he's been one of the most improved guys from spring to camp to the season. He's done a really good job. And Kali, he's a gamer. That dude, he goes out there and competes. And, you know, he's really strong and physical. And I think, you know, when he when he locks in and he starts doing his job and, you know, he gets in the zone, he's a really good ball player.
Daniel, I know the college game is real transient for coaches and players now. Is it ironic to you that you're playing for the guy that was your rival coach when you were at Arizona?
Yeah,
Arizona State, I mean.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I don't even think we even talked about it really, but you know, just as you said, like with the coaching and sports world, like there's just so many coaches and, you know, players flowing around. Like it's just so many players and coaches. Like I think KC recruited me a little bit. Other coaches probably recruited me like a little bit that you don't even know of, but we don't even talk about it so much. But it just goes past just like this.
All set, everybody?
Last thing, what's your brother doing these days, the former Husky and Sacramento State player?
I think he's about joining the Army, military maybe, but I'm not completely sure. I think he might either be military or a dispatcher in Sacramento. Yes, sir.
All right.